Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most important platforms, if not the most important platform to expand this culture of hip-hop ever existed.
Absolutely.
Hands down, there's no platform that's more important than this platform that kicked off, became a mainstay since 1983. We're talking nearly 40 years that this video platform has been running before people even understood the importance of video. I had to bring Rich Nice on the conversation for this one, too, because I know he was there. Rich, Grand Risings to you. Let me tell you, there's a lot of people that I took cue from. I worked at MTV for 20-plus years, and I took a lot of cue from a lot of people, and I'm not ashamed to say it. Donnie Simpson was one of those people that I looked at a lot and said, another person that I took cue from was Fat Five Freddy, you know, when he was on MTV Raps, and Don Cornelius was probably the first one I took cue from. But the one that I really admired and got excited every time I saw copies of Video Music Box in Cali, because we didn't have it when I was growing up. We had to get copies of it on VHSs. Was the man we have on the show with us today as we celebrate the premiere of the documentary. You're watching Video Music Box, taking place December 3rd, 8 p.m. on Showtime. His line just cut off. His line just cut off.
It was too much.
I was giving him too much. I was just giving him too much. Let's see if he calls back. There he goes. Let me see if I can pick him up real quick. But this man is so important to our culture. Words can't really express. I love this man. He's always been forthcoming with me. The one and only, the iconic, the legendary Ralph McDaniels is on the line. Ralph!
Yo, what you do?
Ralph, I was in my flow and then your line cut out. I thought it was too much, man. I thought I was putting too much on your neck right there.
Too thick.
Hey, look. You know, I'm still in the hood. People was calling me. I'm like, yo, I'm getting ready to get on with Sway in the morning. Yo, cut it out.
Hey, Ralph. We got Heather B on the line. Tracy G is
Ralph!
with us.
Hey, King. Uncle Ralph.
And the iconic Rich Nice is on the line as well, Ralph.
Oh man, Rich. Yes, sir. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Congratulations on your video, on your Watching Video Music Box premiering on Friday. Directed by Nas, man. How did that come to be? How did Nas get involved with this?
It's crazy, you know, like he approached me and he said, look, man, you know, I want to direct this. I want to get it right. And I looked at him like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, are you crazy right now? And I was like, Nas is going to direct it? And so I just, you know, I had to sit back and just, you know, it was like a 360 moment for me because I directed his first video from Illmatic, It Ain't Hard to Tell. Mm-hmm. And I said, do you realize what this is? And he's like, right, I know. You did my first video. You did my EPK when I first came out. And I said, and now you're doing something that's like, you know, just probably one of the biggest things that I've done, you know, visually, you know, and it was, you know, it brought a tear to my eye. Little thug moment, little thug tear came out, bro.
Hey, but see, and that's the thing about you, Ralph. Like, I don't know if people realize how many people's videos you directed, man. Can you give us just a list of some of the biggest videos you've done?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you was just playing Wu-Tang. I didn't do Protect Your Neck, but I did Cream.
Cream. Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I did also for Raekwon. I did Incarcerated Scarface. I did Ice Cream. We did Black Moon, Who Got the Props. Mm-hmm. Wow, man, so many videos. The list just goes on and on and on. You know, especially with my partner Lino. You know, all of the Belle Biv DeVoe stuff. And, you know, all of that cool R&B stuff, Keep Sweating, and all of that kind of stuff back in the days, Whitney Houston, you know, just so many big artists that we never dreamed of working with. But I think we had a vision, and it was similar to what Video Music Box was. We were really paying attention to what audience wanted to see in that music video era, you know, because that's the thing. Like, people don't know now. Now it's, you know, you watch YouTube or you go to the artist's link and, you know, and you kind of watch it on TikTok or something. But back then, it was the only time you saw it was on these shows. And, and Video Music Box was, it for all we had. That's all we had. And so that was what you watched. And, it was a magical moment. If you didn't see it then, you might not ever see it again.
Yeah, that was true, man. It wasn't no outlets, man. When you talk about the vision, I always wanted to know, and I'll let everybody else jump in. When did the vision manifest for you and Lionel? Where were you? When did you decide, man, I want to do this thing? Let's call it Video Music Box. Where were you? What triggered it? What sparked it?
Yeah, I was working. I had just graduated from college. I was 21. I just graduated from college, and I was trying to figure out, what I was going to do. I got this job working at the station, low power station in New York City. Basically they were playing like when you watch PBS type stuff. And I was like, man, it says public broadcasting at the end of it, but I don't see no black people on here. Like, what's up with that? And they were like, yo, this guy's a troublemaker right here, right? And so they were like, well, what you want to do? And so I came up with this idea, this Video Music Box, because we had these tapes of artists performing, like R&B artists like the Whispers and Lakeside, and mostly was artists on this label, Solar Records. And then we got some Motown stuff, and I was like, yo, let's put all this together and make it like almost like a video mixtape. But I was like, we got to have some hip hop stuff. And I was rolling with Russell Simmons at the time. We both from Queens. And I was like, yo, what you got? And he was like, well, we don't get it played nowhere. If you want to play it, you can play it. And so that's when we started getting Fat Boys and Houdini and Run DMC, because none of that stuff, Run DMC was the first to really break through. But prior to that, there were videos that were out, but nobody was playing them.
Right.
Yeah. Heather, I'm going to let you jump in. Heather, how many times was you on Video Music Box?
I don't know, but every time I was screaming and I was happy. And even if I didn't see it, somebody would let you know that your video was on Video Music Box. That's how, and I'm talking about the era where people everybody didn't have a cell phone. Like, that's how big it was. Like, if you got on Video Music Box or something was at Video Music Box, you just heard about it. Like, it was incredible. And to me, the other thing was, it was the shout outs, and Ralph and everybody they would be at parties at different spots. You just never know where they would show up. Or if you knew they were going to be there, everybody flooded that spot. And so you would see this amazing footage. And sometimes you would see like Nikki D and the Lady of Rage together. Like, and it was like, is that both of them together in the same spot? And is that this one and that one all talking and hanging out? Yeah, I want to give a shout out, da, da, da. Ralph talking to folks. Ralph, when you went back, and I know you can't give us a lot, going back through the footage, is it anything that you forgot that you shot and you saw it, you was like, oh, wow, this is crazy?
Yeah. Plenty of stuff. I was like there's a whole bunch of stuff with Ice Cube, and I was like, I don't remember even being around Ice Cube this much. And so a lot of the West Coast artists, you remember, everybody would come to New York, because that's where the media was at, and and then they would touch down and go like, okay, where are we gonna go? And we only had a few spots, Heather, right? There was only a few places that they would even allow you to have a hip hop party, and so we all came down, whoever it was, if it was, Snoop, if it's Sway, whoever was coming through, Too Short, whoever came through, we all hung out at the same spot.
Yo, man, wow. I tell you, I know Rich Nice. Rich Nice was the first rapper signed to Motown. What was Rich like, Ralph? How you remember Rich when he was wearing the canary yellow suits, dancing on stage and stuff?
And I want to know about Cape Rich Nice.
Oh, wow. Look, Rich had that uptown flavor, and plus he was, he could dress. So, in fact, I don't know, maybe Rich might have been, that cool swag vibe that Puff brought us maybe before even Puff was doing it, if I'm not mistaken. But Puff picked up on everybody's vibe and, and turned that into a whole movement. But Rich was, we did the video for you, Outstanding, right?
You did my first video, The Rhythm to Feel It, and had Mary Morrow as my leading lady. I never forget you guys for that, because that was incredible. I was so big in the hood with Mary Morrow as my leading lady.
That's crazy. Yes. Yeah, but, there was so many people that were trying to get out. It was great times, and the music video era was a beautiful time from from Video Music Box, we started in '83, so we were early. Then then 106 in Park, and all these shows, but we were like the first to get it really going. And I think that the footage that people are going to see in this You're Watching Video Music Box is crazy. It's just when people like Chuck Chillout says it was when they were skinny. Chuck
got some nerve saying when they were skinny. Look at Chuck. That's my man, too.
That's great. That's great. Ralph McDaniels is with us, and we're talking about the documentary that's on Showtime, 8 p.m. That's big. It's on Showtime, directed by Nas. It's called You're Watching Video Music Box. Tracy, you want to jump in?
Oh, my gosh, absolutely. Ralph, I'm curious what you think is the role of music videos today, because although there's, in my opinion, there is still a lot of creativity, like thinking about Kendrick, thinking about Doja Cat, who is such a humongous visual artist, but there's also what underscores that is how quickly we consume and move on, right?
Yeah.
Or has it just taken different shape where you get all these kind of mini music videos because of social media and the abundance of content that we have?
Yeah, I think that, technology has, just moved it. It's great, but sometimes it's bad because, some of these artists that you just mentioned just create some incredible arts of work, and it's just consumed so quickly and just kind of, okay, we're done with it in a matter of a week or two. And this is beautiful stuff, like Tyler, his last project, like I was like blown away by all the visuals that he put out.
Yes, Ty, yep.
And so to watch, how technology kind of eats it up, it's tough, but, it will always be important because it's touching so many more people than we touched, back then. And I think that it's important for artists. It's not just about the music anymore. It's it's about all of these other things that the artists do. Back in the days, it was like all we had was a vinyl record and a picture in Right On magazine or something like that. Now you got to do all these other things. The music part is only a small part of it,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's so true. You know what's good, though, too, that I've noticed a positive change, and I'm sure you have as well. On Instagram, when folks will post a music video, in the caption, they'll list out every single person involved. You know what I mean? Like whoever was holding camera 3, whoever's involved in the lights. And I'd never seen that before, in a sense, it was just the artist and the director that got all the credit. And I think that also stole away some opportunities for other people to discover new jobs. You know what I mean? I think a part of that made everyone believe the only way to be successful is if you're like the front man, you have that leading role. And I wonder, in the past, thinking about 83 and the 90s and going up to the early 2000s, did you see any frustration with people who were behind the scenes but not really getting the applause for the work that they put in to creating a music video?
Well, in the beginning, I think that we were just happy to get whatever we got.
Okay.
We were happy to get whatever we got.
Back.
Yo, I'm saying, hell yeah, he right.
Yeah.
I feel you.
And it's sad, and so when I talk to a 20-year-old now, they have the ability to say, no, I'm not doing that. And you're like, you sure? Like, nope, not doing that because that doesn't work for my brand. And that's from the work that we all put in, that they can say no now, with confidence, and, I talk to young people. I have young people that work with me, and I'm like, I look up to y'all when y'all say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm like, because I couldn't do that. I didn't have the ability to do that when I was your age. I was like, no, I got to do it. Whatever. We might get something afterwards, and usually we didn't get it, but we thought, positively, oh, we're going to get something out of this. And they took your information or took your video or took your music and just went on and kept on moving. Now these kids can go, Nah, I need like $5 million for that right there, yo.
God bless you for thinking that way, because a lot of folks will be like, well, if you're not acting the way that we did it in the past, then maybe, you know, you have an inflated ego, you know what I'm saying, or whatever else. It's not really seen positive, or we forget that you weren't really necessarily supposed to be doing that in the past as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. Not everybody.
It's not just entitlement. It's progression.
Yeah, no. I mean, every artist from Nas to Hove to Snoop to Ice Cube, we did whatever we could do for that opportunity, you know? And, you know, and you knew that you were just playing yourself sometimes, but you did it because you hoped that something would happen. And that was how hip-hop was, because there was no lane for us. You know, there was no lane. And you were like, please, just let me get on this show, and I know I'm going to be hot if I get on this show. Heather can tell you.
No, it's crazy because not only did you beg to get on the show, you begged to get on a free show. Like it's like I want to get on. You ain't got to pay me nothing. I'll come. It costs me money to get here. It costs me money for my fit, and then I gotta spit my dopest whatever in hopes that anybody would see me. And then the hook is that we talk about all the time here. Then you sign your life away, because the first deal that you make is always so bad. You sign your life away for it. So it's crazy. But I wanted to go back to something that Tracy said, Ralph, and just that the power of the visual that you did for Video Music Box. If you guys could go back, Sway, Rich Nights for sure. Don't you remember when that Method Man video dropped for Bring the Pain, and you watched this thing over and over again on that bus? And when Salt and Pepper, everybody get up. And you had to run home to see Video Music Box just to watch the same video 15 times. Like, you just didn't even care. You noticed something different every single time in the video, and that was the purpose of us watching it. I remember when Rockbox came on. I remember all of that. So thank you for those memories. And it's a shame to some degree that we don't have the patience that we had back then and the appreciation for the art, like you guys were saying, because, man, that's all we did. And Ralph might have played, it was an hour. Ralph might have only been able to get in 4 or 5 videos, but, man, it was everything to us during that time. It was everything. So thank you for that, Ralph. Salute, for real.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The best thing was when you get the Friday show that would sometimes repeat on Saturday, because if your video
Rich.
played on Friday, you'd be like, tune in tomorrow. My video tomorrow. They're going to repeat the show tomorrow. So you would call everybody you know to make sure they tuned in on the Saturday, because your video played, because it was crazy. But, Ralph, I got to say, you know, I never do this. I'm speaking for all of hip-hop. We are so proud of you and this film and this moment, because this is part of all of our lives. This is part of all of our lives. And DMC said something very profound to me inside of the film. And he said, when MTV showed hip-hop, it was people outside the culture showing us. But when Video Music Box played hip-hop, it was us showing us. And how did that make you feel to even hear that? Because, you know, I mean, there was something that you did called the word segment, and that was created to inspire. But, you know, the other networks stole so much from you, but they didn't steal that. Like, why do you think that is? Why do you think they picked and choose what to steal and what not to steal, and the inspirations that you gave all of these other networks to actually create video music countdown shows and shows?
Yeah. No, I think that for me, I was so engulfed in the community that I wasn't, like, I knew that I had to do something, you know, on 125th Street. I had to do something on Fulton Street. You know, I had to be in these areas. I had to go to this birthday party that some drug dealer had because it was the poppin' thing and show the party. And I was so engulfed in it that I wasn't really paying attention to what other networks were doing. But I understood when DMC said that, that was the best line I heard, you know, and I was like, you're right, you know, because we came before, you know, we were trying to figure out content to keep people watching. So, you know, we just aligned ourselves so much with the community. And I think that even radio back then and any other media, you know, was really in tune with what was happening. once corporate kind of jumps in, it turns into something else. Yeah. And, and I think I say in the film, I didn't want to take money because I knew it would turn into something else that we couldn't control. I couldn't play that new artist from Staten Island, RZA. RZA couldn't bring me Protect Your Neck the way it was done, and I would be able to play it. They would have asked for it to be look better or whatever. Quality should have been better. That Protect Your Neck video was the dustiest video that I played every day. Before they didn't even have a deal yet, and I was playing the video. So I wouldn't have been able to play stuff like that or other artists that, were, just we knew it was good. It might not have looked like, it had a lot of money behind it, but we knew that it was a great song, and we already were hearing it in the club, and we were like, it's popping in the clubs already, so we got to play it. So that's crazy.
I think it's interesting what Rich brought up, especially when it comes to the networks that really stole your concept and gentrified it, and put it on all these major networks. Let's talk about two things. I want to talk about Video Jukebox, the box originally named Video Jukebox that was around in the mid 80s and 2001, and they was charging people to watch videos, right? Yeah. And it was very successful. I don't remember how much he paid like $1, and then labels would buy up video times and allotment spaces and the real estate on this. It was a satellite network.
Yeah.
That network parent company was Viacom, which owns that owned MTV. Yeah. So here's the interesting thing. Before Yo MTV Raps came to be, did MTV ever approach you about doing coming on MTV network and doing a Video Music Box with them?
They didn't approach me, but after I taped the Fresh Fest in 1985, and I realized there was so much diversity, in the audience. Prior to that, I was just going to, the Bronx, Brooklyn, certain areas, and listening to music and going to jam. When we went to the Fresh Fest, it was in an arena, and it's the first time hip-hop had been presented in an arena of, 15,000 people, and it was very diverse. It was white folks there, Asian, Latinos, Black. Everybody was there, and they all dressed the same, and they all knew the lyrics to all the songs. Run DMC was the headliner, Fat Boys, Houdini. Everybody knew the music, and I realized then that this was for everybody. And I said, okay, it's time to go to MTV. So I called up my boy, and we went to MTV, and they were like, nah, it's too early for this right here, bro. And I was like, nah, I'm telling you, everybody's into it. And they passed on it. And I was disappointed at that point. But when Yo came out, I was happy because I said it's good for the culture, and that was it. That's all I could think of. Now a video that I directed, let's say by Big Daddy Kane or Biz Markie, it's besides me just playing it on my show and other local shows, now in one shot gets played across the country on Yo. And so people always said, "Oh, you were mad, right?" When they, I was like, I wasn't mad at that. I was mad at the first time I went because I knew it was supposed to happen then, and they didn't want to go with. They didn't want to do it at the time. But when they did it, it was. I couldn't be mad. It was bigger than me. It was big. It was good for hip hop.
Well, let me tell you what the hood said. Remember that moment when Wu-Tang said, yo, they bit the Nas shit. They bit the Nas shit. The hood was saying, yo, they bit Ralph McDaniels shit. They bit Ralph McDaniels shit. Because at that point, we no longer had any access to them. We had access to you. We can come to the parties, and even if you didn't have a record out, you can get a shout out. If you didn't have a record or a record company rep, you couldn't get on your MTV. So it was different. It was completely different. I mean, I think I told you this one time on the conversation, Ralph. When my video played on Video Music Box, it meant more to me than when MTV played my video. And MTV was global, and I was still like, yeah, that's cool, but how many times did Video Music Box play it? And the label reps would look at me like, is this kid stupid? Like, we just told him his video played on MTV. And I was so unconcerned with that because I guess I couldn't see the connection that it made. But in New York and the tri-state area, I would go to Jersey to do shows, and they go, I saw you on Video Music Box. And I was like, whew, I'm the man, and it leads me to this. before they had the MTV basketball celebrity games, Video Music Box had celebrity basketball games. Yeah. And I remember, I got the receipt right in front of me. I got a T-shirt. I'm going to send you a picture, Ralph. Dominique Productions and Video Music Box July 4th weekend jam in Virginia. And my number was 1. And on the back it says Video Music Box All-Stars. And this
that's the first time I met Pharrell when we went down there.
Wow.
I went to Teddy Riley's studio because we played against Teddy Riley's team, who Teddy Riley brought Allen Iverson to the game, who he was in college. I didn't know who Allen Iverson was. And so I was like, yeah, all right, no problem. I learned that day.
Wow, man. What year was that, Rich?
This was 1993, but this was the Virginia version of the game. There was New York versions of the game before the Virginia version.
Yeah, before that, yeah.
Ralph, you got a few callers, man. Big round of applause, man, for this icon, man. Good. Hey, Ralph, hold up.
And Rich is right, because not everybody in the hood had cable. Everyone's like, yo, I ain't got MTV.
Right.
Hey, Ralph, we did a sit-down, man. Did I make the cut?
Oh, yes, absolutely, sir. We had to have journalism in it, so we made sure that we got, and I really made sure that it was you that represented for the journalists, the unapologetically black journalists.
Oh, okay. There we go. Hey, make sure y'all watch Friday on Showtime. You'll watch a Video Music Box. That's Friday at 8 p.m. Hold on, let me take a couple of calls, man. We got Ralph McDaniels here. Marquette is in North Carolina. Real quick, how you doing, Marquette?
Hey, Marquette.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
Up? Hey.
First and foremost, I want to say, Mr. Daniels, you're like a pioneer. I don't even call it hip-hop. I call it rap. You're like the steering wheel, because I'm 46. So when I grew up, the only outlet we had in North Carolina was to watch the fashion. Besides the Cosby shows in a different world, TV shows, all you had was videos. So, and we had mixtapes and stuff. But my question to you is this. I'm not going to take too much time because I know how Sway gets. This is my problem. Videos back then had big budgets. They cost a lot of money. If I was an artist, I would be pissed off right now knowing half of my budget took money out my table, food in my mouth for my kids, and they don't show videos anymore. So fast forward. Why does VH1, MTV, BET show nothing but love and hip-hop? I'm not knocking those shows, but it's a music television thing. I got to watch my videos through YouTube now, which pisses me off. So, man, I got to pay extra to subscribe to MTV Classics because they have the whole, hip-hop shows. They'll show I Love the 80s. That's the only way I can catch the videos nowadays. And it's sad that we created the culture, but they still control it. So now if I go to BET, I'm watching all these sister shows and Tyler Perry shows. That's not music. That's not videos. So are you doing anything?
Yeah, it's changed, brother. And, and that's all to do, I guess, with advertising and stuff like that. The technology has changed. I miss, a lot of that, and things are going to change because now everybody's on their phone. And that's, some of these young people, they don't even know what TV is. They just look at their phone like, what are you talking about? That's for us older folk.
Yeah, man. Man, my daughter is 23. When she moved in her apartment, I said, I'm going to get you a housewarming gift. I'm going to get you a TV. She said, for what? I was like, huh? What? I didn't even question it. I was just perplexed. Like, yeah, never mind. I just got old. Ralph, I can't thank you enough for your inspiration, your contribution. Man, I bit your style. Thank you, man. When I got on TV, I had a little bit of you in me. Don Cornelius and Donnie Simpson. And I watch you. And Rich, when we sit and watch Ralph, what do I say every time I watch him? What kind of comments do I make?
It's like, man, I wish we had this in California. Because this is the blueprint. This is the blueprint.
And your professionalism. And I can't think of what was the live stream we were watching.
Oh, my gosh. We was watching the live stream, and they was throwing everything at you, Ralph. I was like, are they going to hit this guy in the head with a bat or something? And Sway just kept saying, yo, look at him. He's not even nervous. He's handled everything that comes to him. His professionalism is unmatched in hip-hop. Look at this. Rich, do you see it? And I was like, bro, I grew up with it.
Yeah, Ralph, let me tell you something, man. Ralph, I've done red carpets all around the world. I've done moderated panel discussions at the United Nations a few times. I've done all kind of things, so I know what it's like to be the White House, to be live. And man, when I watch you, brother, it's like watching Jordan, like classic Jordans, or it's like watching, like, I like to watch old Mayweather fights, you know, when he was in his prime. And I watch you today, and I get that sense today, like in 2021, that this dude is still moving in his prime. You set a blueprint, brother, that's always going to be in the DNA of this culture. Congratulations. I'm glad you and Nas got together to do this. And I'm looking forward to seeing it in its entirety. And thank you, bro. Thank you for incorporating me, you know, giving me whatever. If I got 2 seconds, I'm good. I'm on the documentary. I'm like Heather being Rich Nice.
You all up in there, bro. Hey, look, it's Friday, December 3rd, 8 p.m. Make sure you'll tune in on Showtime. If you don't have Showtime, hack it. I don't care. Get it somehow.
There you go. Ralph McDaniels, man. Y'all follow him at Video Music Box and show him some love. Ralph, thank you for being on the show today, brother.
No problem, brother. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Love, Ralph. Happy holidays, too.
Love, Ralph. Yes, happy holidays.
Wow, man. Rich, thank you for being on, Rich. I appreciate you, brother.
Oh man, listen, I couldn't miss that. That's the big homie right there. It was fantastic. Thanks for making sure I was here.